Thank you. 7:54 to go. Opening quarter, no score between Utah State and New Mexico. A windy afternoon here in Albuquerque with the Hall of Famer Randy Cross and Rashawn Ali down on the sidelines. I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire CBS Sports Network crew. And this is Utah State with its second drive of the game. On their opening drive, they took it all the way down to the 2-yard line. They were stopped on 4th and 1. New Mexico got the ball, had to punt, so this is the third series of the game. And the backup quarterback, Damian Hobbs, has come in for the Aggies.
And we've pretty much seen things that we expect. A dynamic offense out of Utah State and some good running out of New Mexico.
Hobbs again up to midfield. Utah State likes to use the backup just as a different type of quarterback, more of a physical element is what offensive coordinator Josh Heupel told us this week. And now Hobbs out and the starter Kent Myers back in. Myers already with a 63-yard screen pass to Lawan Hunt. Second down and 3. Mays on the carry, and he is tackled from behind by Cranston Jones, the senior out of Mesquite, Texas. Time now for the starting lineups. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Kent Myers, the sophomore, 9-2 as a starting quarterback.
Since last year as a true freshman, he's really been an answer to a prayer for Utah State, losing Chucky Keaton the way they have twice over the last couple of years.
On 3rd and 2, Mays. And Mays is stuffed. Nick Diavanzo leading the charge for the Lobos defensively. And now 4th down and 4, and Matt Wells will send out his punt unit.
New Mexico loves to attack. They loves to penetrate. That's a perfect job there of doing both. One with a linebacker, one with a defensive lineman.
Carlos Wiggins, very dangerous. Back deep to return this punt by Aaron Dalton, who only had to punt once all of last week in the win over Wyoming. Kicking into the win, good kick, bounces at the 11. And New Mexico will start this drive inside the 10-yard line after a 41-yard punt. We're scoreless in Albuquerque. Let's get you caught up to date on what's happened so far in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Myers to Lawan Hunt, a 63-yard screen.
Perfect setup on this screen. Look at those linemen downfield blocking. You don't see a red jersey till he's about 40 yards down the field.
But on 4th and 1 from the 2, Myers incomplete. Lobos defense came up with a nice stand as we are scoreless. 5:26 to go, opening quarter, with the College Football Hall of Famer Randy Cross. I'm Andrew Catalan. Twice now on short yardage situations that Lobos defense has come up big in a clutch spot.
Yeah, they really have. The second one was just an excellent job of attacking. It's what they do well on defense. The first time, I'm not sure if Utah State didn't kind of outthink themselves a little, trying to be cute with a pass. They've got a very powerful O-line, and they've got good running backs. I just blasted it right at New Mexico.
Could have kicked a field goal as well. Instead, we are scoreless, and New Mexico will start this drive inside the 10-yard line. On the run, it's Presley trying to get to the outside, and he's knocked out after a short gain. 5:18 to go in the first quarter as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Lobos offensively. And we're going to see 2 quarterbacks today. So far, it's been all Lamar Jordan, the sophomore, but we'll also see Austin Apodaca.
So both teams will line up that way. We'll see 2 quarterbacks in each offense for different reasons. I think they really haven't decided for New Mexico who runs this offense the best.
Presley got 4. It's 2nd down and 6. Jordan will take this one himself, cuts it upfield, and picks up the first down. That's the element that Jordan brings, the ability to run. He gains 14. Look at the starting lineup offensively, and Reese White, the senior tight end, having a nice year with 11 catches for 174 yards.
A real target. Keep track of White. Usually where the ball goes is about right where number 80 is.
It's Gibson on the carry and gets up to the 34-yard line. Gibson has been playing well, averaging 7 yards per carry over his last 4 games. Well, no surprise here. 9 plays so far for the Lobos, all runs, and that'll be the chore today for the Utah State defense led by Jordan Nielsen, playing in his 50th career game today. That's the most on this team.
And Utah State will use a whole bunch of defensive linemen. They'll use up to 8 different players.
Gibson again, not much doing this time, as Bryant Hayes came up to meet him in the backfield. It'll be 3rd down.
This is not your usual style of option offense that New Mexico runs, not like kind of Navy and some other offenses out there around the country. This is, I think, what Bob Davie has chosen to do. It gives defenses a real challenge because a lot of his blocking, he'll pull players one direction, he'll option the other way. It's very well put together.
Davie in his 4th season, a 15-30 record as he continues to rebuild here in Albuquerque. 3rd down and 3. And the Utah State defense again, led by Ali Afua, coming up with a big stop. And once again, the Lobos punt team will come out on the field.
Yeah, how about Ali Afua up there up front? And it's one thing. Now, the Utah State defense, I talked about how New Mexico loves to attack. Utah State's kind of the exact opposite, Andrew. They're a team that will catch and slam you a lot. Ali Afua did exactly that, just caught the block and slammed it back into the backfield.
Second punt for Zach Rogers. Andrew Rodriguez awaiting it at his own 24-yard line. 2:24 to go in the first quarter. Rodriguez comes way up, fielded at the 35 and tackled at the 38-yard line. A 30-yard punt. Utah State's offense coming back when we return to Albuquerque. Sunny yet windy day in Albuquerque, scoreless in the first quarter. Utah State and New Mexico. Time now to take a look at today's Eat Trade game plan, Randy.
And we've seen the big chunks so far out of this Utah State offense. Assignment football on the defensive side, always key with a option offense. Lobos, stay on the field. Got to keep getting first downs. Keep this Utah State team off the field. And defensively, attack. Try to cause yourself some turnovers.
Utah State put up 592 yards last week against Wyoming, the most in 3 years. Today already with 90 in the first quarter, but no points as they start this drive, their 3rd of the quarter. Myers on the run, throws, and it's caught by Rodriguez in New Mexico territory, spinning his way inside the 40-yard line. 15th catch of the season for Andrew Rodriguez. It's a gain of 26. Look at the rest of the Utah State offense. Hunter Sharp already with a catch today. He now has at least 1 catch in 19 straight games.
And as you've seen so far, I mean, this is a big play offense, and they get big plays from all their skill players.
Myers to the air again. Nobody there. Steps up. Will keep it himself. And he's brought down by Diavanzo again at the 36-yard line. A closer look at that New Mexico starting defense under defensive coordinator Kevin Cosgrove. And Dakota Cox, as Cosgrove told us, really the leader of this defense. He leads the team in tackles, 3.5 sacks as well.
Yeah, and the guys up front, we talk about those guys attacking and really getting through gaps. That causes confusion up front, and that gives Dakota Cox some really nice area to run to the ball.
2nd down and 9. Myers to Sharp, his 2nd catch. Tackle immediately made by Nias Martin. And it will be 3rd down with 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, short-term goal for Bob Davie and the New Mexico Lobos is to try to get this field back in their favor. Utah State, their average field position is crazy. They're like on the 33, 35-yard line. For New Mexico, they're getting the ball back about the 6 so far. So they've been in a hole the whole time, and this drive here is not helping.
3rd down and 6. Lawan Hunt in at running back. Swindle goes in motion. Myers screen to Hunt. It worked last time, and this time Hunt is shoved out. Looks to be about a yard shy of a 1st down. So decision time for Matt Wells. Went for it earlier in the quarter on 4th and 1. What will he do here? It looks like he's keeping the offense out on the field.
Bringing in some big bodies.
Utah State is 7 for 12 on 4th downs this season.
And changing out the quarterbacks, too.
They'll bring in Hobbs, who's a bigger body than Myers at 6'2", 220 pounds. And the play clock's at 0.
That is the end of the 1st quarter.
But the 1st quarter has come to an end. 4th down when we start the 2nd quarter. Utah State and New Mexico scoreless after 1 on CBS Sports Network. Started the 2nd quarter in Albuquerque. No score between Utah State and New Mexico. And now with the quarter ending, reversing fields, Matt Wells might reverse his decision to go for it because he's kicking with the wind. He had Brock Warren, the kicker, out there during the timeout. However, now he has sent his offense back out there. So even though they're going with the wind now, Wells, for the 2nd time in this half, will go for it on 4th and 1.
Way spread, 3 wide right, or wide left.
Mays, the running back. Myers will keep it himself, and he is dragged down by Uday, and with that spot, he is short of a 1st down. 2nd time in this half that the New Mexico defense has come up with a 4th down stop.
Now, the first one was a 4th down try. You can't see anything wrong. I mean, I've got a few problems with that, but here, this is just telling New Mexico State, you can't stop us. We don't respect your defense, and New Mexico made them respect them there.
So twice Wells has passed on the opportunity to put points on the board, gone for it on 4th and 1, and come up short. So New Mexico will get the ball. Still scoreless here in Albuquerque. Presley has it here, and Presley is stuck. Closing quickly was Torrey Green, senior out of California. It's 2nd down. Jordan still in at quarterback. We saw Apodaca for 1 series. Total of 3 passing yards for New Mexico so far today. 2nd and 11. Jordan steps up, throws on the run, has a wide open Hart Johnson down the sideline. Hart Johnson, 1 man to beat, and he is down at the 1. Looked like he got in, but Hart Johnson all the way down to the 1-yard line, a gain of 85.
That right there took me back to the old days when I were track and field, the 4x400 relay, when the guy's got the big lead and you can see the safes on his back. Suddenly the speed started leaking out. Nice job by Johnson, though, concentrating on that as a wide open receiver. He's going to be wide open here. And as you look at this thing develop, it's the corner from the far side of the field in the middle right there that's going to make this play. That's a beautiful play from the far side. Does he go out? Does any part of him hit? That's not. That's in. That steps in. That steps in. That steps in. I think he's in the whole way.
When the runner stepped out of bounds, the ball had already crossed the goal line. The resulting play is a touchdown.
And there it is, just the 5th passing touchdown of the season for New Mexico's offense, the 1st of Hart Johnson's career. An 86-yard hookup between Jordan and Hart Johnson, and New Mexico jumps out to the lead.
And a defensive blown assignment leaves Hart Johnson wide open and enables him to go that distance. And all that great field position for Utah State means nothing, and now they find themselves trailing 7-0 after this extra point.
Zach Rogers trying to make it 7-zip. He does. And with 8:59 to go in the first half, New Mexico, a big underdog, has taken a 7-0 lead. Lamar Jordan all pumped up, the Lobos in front.
Welcome back. Here's Hart Johnson right here. Here's DeShane Hines. And here's an area that looks to be pretty free once this safety kind of moves up. But DeShane Hines thinks he's got help inside. Watch him point right here like, it's yours. There's nobody yours. There's no yours there. That's why Hart Johnson, you saw, was so wide open. Defense is such a game of having to constantly talk and to constantly communicate.
So the former Phillies bat boy with a home run right there. 86-yard touchdown, the first of his career. And the Lobos take a 7-0 lead. Jason Sanders, who has a touchback rate of 70%, will kick it away. This one short of being a touchback. It's returnable. And how about this for Utah State? A big return. Kennedy Williams on the return for the Aggies. And later on during the Verizon halftime report, our guys will get you up to speed on all the leading Heisman contenders. Mays trying to reverse field, nothing doing. D'Avanzo again with a tackle for a loss. All right, Brent, thank you very much. Horned Frogs won the game against Oklahoma State last year 42-9. But a different story so far today.
A little payback.
Yeah, 2nd and 15. Myers' pass is incomplete. Broken up by the walk-on, Jake Rothschiller, on the pass intended for Hunter Sharp.
Yeah, Rothschiller does a nice job staying with this play all the way through it. Because really it looked like that ball had been put spot on, right on the shoulder, and was going to be a completion. Watch the location on the pass. The ball bounces a little, then Rothschiller gets that arm in there and knocks it away.
Utah State 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Faced with 3rd and 15. Myers has time. Now on the run to his left, throws, and it's incomplete. There is a flag down. Pass was broken up by Kenneth Maxwell. Now there's an injured Aggie.
Flags on the far side. That was Myers who got just rocked as he was throwing that thing. Flag is on the far side.
Myers is still down.
Oh, he gets cracked pretty good, and it's helmet to helmet.
Kimmy Carson was the Lobo who leveled Myers.
But again, the flag was all the way on the other side. Foul.
And this is fascinating now from a Utah State perspective. If Myers is not able to come back, who is Matt Wells going to put in? Is it going to be Chucky Keaton, or is it going to be Damian Hobbs, who's already played in this game? Obviously, the focus right now is making sure Myers is okay. But after that, Wells will have an interesting decision to make.
Both against the defense, 1 live ball, 1 dead ball. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 2. That penalty will be enforced in the previous spot. After the play, personal foul, necessary roughness, defense, number 54. That penalty will also be enforced. 1st down.
So both fouls against the Lobos. Myers slowly walks off the field, and it appears that Chucky Keaton is going to come into the game for Utah State.
So they're assessing a personal foul before the whistle and a personal foul after the play, so they'll both be enforced.
So Chucky Keaton was injured September 19th against Washington. Sprained his MCL in his right knee, has not played since. He did suit up last week in the win over Wyoming for the first time since the injury, but did not play. And here he is now with his Aggies trailing 7-0, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Keaton Trying to get to the outside, gets away from one and gets one on the play. Now we asked Matt Wells this week, is Chucky Keaton your backup quarterback? And he said only if it's a long-term injury for Myers. Right now we really like what Damian Hobbs has done. However, in this situation, he's going to Chucky Keaton.
With this kind of field position too, Andrew, I mean, he's got 60 touchdowns on his career. He's tied for the all-time record here with Utah State. Part of this decision, I gotta believe, is he's got a chance to set their school record.
This is Mays on the carry, taking it down to the 10-yard line. It will be third down. Today's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. And Utah State's touchdown percentage, 60%. We asked Matt Wells what's been the key lately to scoring in the red zone. He said running the football. We've been actually running the ball a lot better inside the 20. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 5. Hunt in at running back.
Blitz up.
Keaton throws on the run. It's caught by Sharp. Knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. He is short of a first down. So once again, a 4th down decision for Matt Wells, and he's sending out his field goal unit.
Yeah, good decision after 2 4th downs that were stuffed by New Mexico. Take some points, get your team on the board.
So Brock Warren, who has not missed a field goal this year, he's 6 for 6. Comes out to attempt a 25-yard field goal. Trying to get the Aggies on the board, and the kick is good. So with 6:10 to go in the second quarter, the Aggies put 3 on the board, and they trail 7-3. Sunny day, but certainly the wind an issue here in this game. And down on the sideline, we saw Kent Myers during that last timeout trying to shake things off. He was not being attended to by the Utah State training staff, so that's a good sign for the Aggies. Jake Thompson to kick this one away. Wiggins, a very dangerous return man with 5 career kick return touchdowns. This is Gibson on first down. Has a little bit of room to run, cuts it up for a first. Terrion Gibson with a gain of 15.
Yeah, he's been a nice little change of pace. They were trying to hit Utah State inside early with the running game, but the outside run with Gibson has really gotten some chunks. That's the second one over 10 yards.
Averaging over 7 yards per carry in his last 4 games, and that's coincided with Jarrell Presley seeing less time. But to Presley's favor, he also has been battling a foot injury, which Bob Davie told us yesterday got a lot better over the bye last week. On 1st and 10, Jordan pitches it, and out of bounds is Chestnut. Darrell Chestnut did a good job to hold on to that football.
Yeah, those late pitches can get dangerous in an option offense. I think personally, for my taste, that quarterback's always better off eating that thing, put a little mustard on it and eat it rather than trying to pitch it out. Somehow that halfback always looks less than excited to get that late pitch because there's always a defender right there.
Let's go, defense!
5:10 to go first half, and both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. This is Gibson again into Utah State territory. Kyler Fackrell makes the tackle. Terrion Gibson continues to have a nice first half, a gain of 12.
Watch the alley that opens up. Nice anticipation. You start stretching, there's the alley. Why follow the blockers when there's nobody inside? Beautiful instincts.
There's Kent Myers on the Utah State sideline. Again, not being attended to by that training staff, so we'll see on the next Utah State possession if Myers is able to come back after that big hit from Carson. On 1st and 10, it's Chestnut, and he runs right into Nick Vigil. And the Jets face the Jaguars as Presley finds a little bit of room up the middle. Impressive looking drive here for the Lobos. A gain of 8 for Presley.
Yeah, this first option when you go inside can really be nice because you block down with a tackle and a guard, and it isolates that inside backer, and right there was a good example of that wide open, just quick pop for 7-8 yards.
On this drive, 5 plays for 40 yards for Bob Davies' offense.
No, despite that one big play that they got the touchdown from, they've done a nice job of staying on the field, getting first downs, and eating time off his clock.
Gibson, not this time. Good job by Utah State up front to hold Gibson to a minimal gain.
The hard thing for a defense when they go against an option offense, you hear the term assignment football. That's why so many defensive coaches, when you practice against an option offense, don't even use a ball. They don't have the offense use the ball. They say, you do your assignment.
New Mexico has it at the Utah State 35-yard line. Jordan steps up, goes down. Good pressure by, guess who? Kyler Fackrell.
That was an interesting formation, kind of a double stack on both sides with receivers. And then it just looks like, okay, we'll double stack, but we're going to run it because that looked like a quarterback draw from the jump.
For 3rd and 15, they're going with the better passer, and they put Apodaca in. Fires over the middle. It's caught by Gibson, but he's well short of the first down. Filiunga makes the tackle for Utah State.
The runner's elbow is down. On the tackle for Utah.
And now what does Bob Davie do on 4th and 11?
Bring in your punter and you have him pooch punt it and try to see if you can bury them back like they've had you buried back field position-wise. I'm not sure if they've got the oomph kicking-wise to bring in a field goal kicker.
It would be a 53-yarder, and the long for Zach Rogers this year is 42. It's a fake. Rogers' pass is short and incomplete. Wow, if that pass was on the money, Reese White may have been able to run for daylight. Instead, Utah State gets the ball back.
Rolling on the field was
White was wide open, but the pass was short.
Yeah, it bounced before it ever got to White. That's an incompletion.
Brent, thank you very much. Myers back in at quarterback. Lobos sideline thought that was a catch and a fumble, but it's ruled incomplete.
Yeah, I think that was clearly an incompletion.
Rolling on the field, but the ball was incomplete. 2nd down.
That's close.
He had that for a while.
Braylon Roberts, the receiver for Utah State. Kent Myers so far today, 5 of 8 for 99 yards. Myers fires, and that's caught by his tight end, Wyatt Houston, who runs out of bounds. They'll spot that ball at the 43-yard line, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, with this much time, 1:32 left, you've still got 2 timeouts left. You can nibble. You don't have to be striking down the field necessarily where everything has to happen in the middle and long term.
Well, New Mexico's defense has done a great job on 3rd downs today, as Utah State's just 1 for 6. It's 3rd and 3.
Showing the pressure.
Myers incomplete. Looking for Houston again, and it's 4th down.
That's really something. This aggressive defense for New Mexico, again, does a very nice job of getting that pressure, sort of face pressure on the quarterback. Passes a little bit off, and the coverage is right there. Here you see they're up. They're showing pressure. They end up bringing 6. Ball comes out, and it's kind of end over end, so the accuracy factor really isn't there.
So Dalton out to punt on 4th and 3. And was nearly blocked by John Russo. Wiggins muffs it, and Wiggins falls on it at the 10. Nearly a killer right there for Carlos Wiggins.
Boy, talk about dodging a few. You dodge the fake punt, and a lot of what you've done today, you can say thank you, defense. One down by the goal line, then again on 4th down. I tell you, this New Mexico defense has really stepped up today.
Well, it's amazing what they're doing, to be honest. I mean, Utah State has scored at least 50 points in 3 of their last 4 games. They had 592 yards of offense last week against Wyoming, and here in the first half, just 3 points for the Aggies. The last 21 plays that Utah State has run offensively, they've gained only 61 yards. The Lobos defense has come to play today.
And remember, they started off on that first drive we showed you when we joined the game. 63 yards on a little screen that looked like, oh, they're going to do this all day. We haven't seen anything like that since then.
Gibson got the call on 1st down. And the clock continues to tick. Wells does have 2 timeouts, but did not use one after that last run. Maybe he's seen enough here in the first half. Gibson up to the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
He's definitely seen enough of that. Seen a lot of Gibson on that left side making those kind of runs. And I believe for his taste, Matt Wells would like to get in the locker room, make his adjustments, and get a chance to get his message across about what he thought about this first half.
Should be delivered in a gentle way, I'm sure.
Oh, always, always.
Well, Utah State won the toss before we came on the air. They received the football, so it'll be New Mexico football to start the second half. And really, the Lobos fans have a lot to be excited about right here. A 7-3 Lobos lead at the half. It's New Mexico football to receive the second half kickoff as we check in with Rashawn Ali.
All right, here we go, guys. Yeah, Coach Davey, you got to talk about your defensive effort. They've been pretty much stifling. Talk about those 4th down stops.
Yeah, we've been backed up. You know, they've had excellent field position. They really hurt us on the first screen pass. You know, they gained about 60 yards on that first screen pass. We were in man-to-man, didn't cover them. And then the game was constantly played on our end of the field. But a lot of determination by our defense, a lot of a goal line stop, also a couple 4th down stops. We're playing hard, playing really hard. And then we had the one big pass play on offense. So, you know, I just like the urgency we're playing with. I like the heart we're playing with. And, you know, we get the ball to start the second half.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Lobos are 2-0 this year when leading at the half. And right now it's a 7-3 game in favor of New Mexico. After the break, we'll send you to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Start of the 3rd quarter in Albuquerque on a windy day. The Lobos out to a 7-3 lead. Back with Randy Cross, I'm Andrew Catalon, and wow, after what Utah State did offensively last week against Wyoming, you really got to tip your cap to the way New Mexico has played defense so far today.
You really do, because the New Mexico offense has been backed up, terrible field position, but every time Utah's gotten down there and they've gotten a big play or needed a big play, especially on 4th down, New Mexico's defense has bowed up and or lived in their backfield.
Take a look at the CC's first half stats.
And that is not a typo on the left side as far as the amount of yards that this Utah State offense has piled up. 134 yards, 1 of 7 on 3rd downs. It's been an all. Coach Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator for New Mexico and company, the big idea or the big challenge will be Utah State's going to adjust. What do they do? How do they kind of adjust the adjustments that Utah State's going to make?
Let's go down to Rashawn Ali.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yeah, I asked Coach Wells, what has to happen in the second half? He says we have to take advantage of field position. We did not do that well in the first half. He also said nobody said it was going to be easy. We have to go out there and earn it, guys.
It's a great scarf you got, Rashawn. It's a little chilly out here in Albuquerque.
Yes, it is.
I don't think any of us really prepared for this weather today.
We certainly did not. Yesterday when we came into town, I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. Today, I am cold. I've got these warmers in my pocket right here. Thanks to our A2. I appreciate him for that. Yes.
Yeah. Usually the over-under on the hand warmers is November 15th. So if you had the under with Rashawn, you win. Yeah, everyone's bundled up here in Albuquerque.
It's amazing. And this is the direction the ball's being kicked where the pretty good chance the kick comes up a little bit short.
And it's not Thompson who kicks it off. It's Brock Warren. Warren's kick is short, and Wiggins out close to the 30-yard line. But usually you see Jake Thompson handling the kickoffs for the Aggies. Well, time now to take a look at today's Vistaprint player profile. And Lamar Jordan, the quarterback with a big first half. 20 yards rushing, 97 yards passing, and a touchdown. How about this? In the first half, New Mexico's passing totals, they were 4 of 5. The only incompletion was by the punter on that fake punt. So for a team that never throws the football, they actually have done a pretty good job of that today. 4 out of 5 through the air. They'll start this half on the ground with Gibson. Gibson across the 35. And Gibson finally brought down by Moala, who had a nice first half in his return after missing 2 games from injury.
You talk about the passing game, too. White, number 80, was a big part of the passing game last week. This week, the only pass he's had really thrown to him that got close to him was the one from the punter that bounced in front of him.
Well, just so much at stake here for New Mexico. They have not won more than 5 games in a season since 2007. This would be their 5th win if they could somehow figure out a way to beat the tough Aggies today. And they do have the lead at 7-3, but Gibson stopped for no gain. It will be 3rd down and short for the Lobos.
Yeah, this game for New Mexico has got to be sort of the definition of pounding rocks. They have to be very patient. Just keep at it. Don't get too frustrated. Try to go do something spectacular, which I would say is resulting as in, like, call another fake punt.
How about this? Anaya. And that pass is incomplete. That's a play they worked on all week at practice at New Mexico. It was supposed to be a jump pass by Anaya. They were going to try to use it maybe down toward the goal line. They'd break it out here on 3rd and 2, and it doesn't work.
Doesn't seem to fool Utah State. Look at the defense, very pensive, sitting back. Nice job by Utah State, fully expecting them to do something different like that.
So there are 2 incompletions today, passing, the punter and a running back. Now Rodriguez on the punt return, he is stuffed. And the ball came out. New Mexico falls on it. A big play, special teams by the Lobos, and they'll have it 1st and goal.
Well, Rodriguez was surrounded, and I thought I saw a helmet go right on that ball to cause that fumble. That ball just popped right straight backwards. Watch.
It was Anaya who made the hit. He was the one that just threw the incompletion.
Was he down? Nope. Nice job ripping that thing out of there. Watch the legs. If the calf is down, he's down. No, I think that ball is out of there and on its way out of there before he gets down on the ground. That's a clean play.
8th fumble recovery this year by New Mexico. And they're just waiting for confirmation from the replay booth. And they've got it. It's 1st and goal for the Lobos. Jordan. Up the middle they go. Touchdown, Richard McQuarley. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and New Mexico capitalizes off the Utah State turnover.
Well, they've got quite a stable of backs here. We talk about the versatility of this running game. McQuarley's the one guy you say would qualify as kind of a power back, and they give it to him in a power back position. And man, I tell you, that offensive line, especially the inside three of Mahina, Oldenkamp, and Jenkins, did a nice job.
Drive summary, one play, 3 yards, 4 seconds. Extra point by Zach Rogers is good. Andrew Rodriguez fumbles the punt. New Mexico recovers. McQuarrie takes it in. Lobos smell an upset in Albuquerque under Bob Davie. Junior Andrew Rodriguez lost the handle on that punt return. It led to 7 points for New Mexico. And now the Aggies trail 14-3 here in Albuquerque. And again, a huge game in the Mountain Division as Air Force, Utah State, and New Mexico all control their own destiny to win the division title. So the winner of this game would still control its own destiny. The loser would need help the rest of the way. And right now it's Matt Wells' team that needs some help. You got to be honest here, Randy. Utah State's look completely flat today.
Very flat. I mean, the reason Boise State doesn't control their destiny is that big win by Utah State. I mean, really a blowout by Utah State.
Touchback, and Utah State will start at the 20-yard line. There's Kevin Cosgrove, the New Mexico defensive coordinator, who has had a banner day so far. His team has held the Aggies to 3 points. They average 32 per game. On 1st and 10 from the 20, it's Mays. Mays gets away from a couple and picks up 5 on the play. Before that run, Mays had 10 carries for just 15 yards.
Yeah, and second down has been the big down that they've had a hard time with Utah State, because New Mexico's done a very nice job of setting them up in third and uncomfortable. And uncomfortable, I mean 3 or 4. This is a big down. This is a big drive for Utah State just from a confidence standpoint.
Tyler Fox in motion. They give it to Fox. He's got a lot of speed. He's got the first down before he's slammed to the turf by Ryan Santos. But Josh Heupel, the offensive coordinator, told us this week that Fox is one of the fastest guys on that offense, and he picks up 11.
Yeah, you combine that speed with numbers. He's moving that fast, and you've got the numbers, because you've got 2 blockers and you've got 1 defensive back within 5 yards of the ball. That's a combination. That's a perfect formula for a good game.
Mays, the running back, and he takes the ball, runs it up the middle. All right, Brent. The Noles have won 3 straight in that series and 4 of the last 5. Of course, last year, the meeting in overtime, Jameis Winston was suspended. Sean McGuire took over. So a good one there in the ACC. On 2nd and 6, Myers to a wide open target and a first down. It's the tight end, Wyatt Houston, as Utah State moves into New Mexico territory. A gain of 24.
Yeah, since that 63-yard screen, that's really the first nice big chunk that Myers in this offense has come up with. Defense has done a nice job by New Mexico of frustrating him. In this kind of field position, I was an offensive player most of my career playing football. It will really get in your head if you're not getting points and you keep getting good field position.
1st and 10 from the Lobos 35-yard line. Myers back to the air. Nobody home, steps up, and he goes down. Once again, it looked like Myers was trying to take a deep shot there, but good coverage downfield by the Lobos.
It's a nice job bringing 6 guys surrounding the pocket. That's how you create a pocket and then slowly close it on a quarterback who can move around pretty good. But, you know, realistically, where the heck's he going to go? There's nowhere to go with the ball. He's got to run.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10. Give to Mays. Mays trying to get some yards up the gut. Gets to the 30-yard line where it will be 3rd down.
Setting up another one of those 3rd and uncomfortable, 5 or 6 type downs for Utah State.
Well, Mays last week, a career-high 176 yards rushing against Wyoming. But today, 13 carries for just 27 yards.
I'm not sure it's a part of the game where you're going to say, is this 4-down territory yet, Andrew? But I know you're going to be thinking about kicking a field goal if you don't get this.
Myers, the slant, and that pass is caught.
It's short.
Swindle on the catch, but well, that looks like a very generous spot. Whoa. And that is good for a first down.
That play looked like it was right on the 25-yard line. They're spotting it all the way down to the 24.
Well, most of the breaks have gone New Mexico's way today, but that one, you might say, goes to the Aggies, where they have the 1st and 10.
Can they finish this one off? Great field position. Does it mean points?
Myers taking a shot in the end zone. Diving attempt. And caught. Touchdown. Rodriguez, who fumbled the punt, makes up for it for the touchdown here.
And this blustery wind, beautiful job, not only by Rodriguez of kind of stretching out and camping under it, but also by Myers of feathering that thing in there. Not the easiest thing to do. You see a tough time keeping that spiral. That ball was caught. It was brought into the body. He turns over, controls that ball entirely through the process.
First touchdown for Andrew Rodriguez at Utah State. He was at Houston for 2 years, redshirted last year with the Aggies, and now has his first touchdown in a Utah State uniform. They confirm it. The extra point is good by Brock Warren. And Utah State with its first touchdown today. They now trail by 4. An up and down day for Andrew Rodriguez. Fumbles the punt, but a highlight reel touchdown catch here. And Utah State within 4. 5:55 go third quarter, and Randy, you agreed with this call on the touchdown.
I do. As the ball comes down, look right here. You can look at the ball. You can see the white line on the ball. He's going to pull it into his chest. That ball never moves once it gets into his chest, and he rolls over. I think he had control through that entire catch. Confirmed in the replay booth, a touchdown for Utah State. It's a 14-10 game. And how about Myers on that drive? He had been struggling of late, 3 of 3 for 54 yards. Short kick, Wiggins. And Wiggins across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. 2 wins away from becoming bowl eligible. New Mexico has not gone to a bowl game in 8 years. And this would be a signature win for Bob Davies if his team can pick up a win over mighty Utah State at home. Final minute of the third quarter. Apodaca looking to throw. As Tom fires and incomplete. He had his man in Matt Quarles, but those two not able to hook up. It looked like that ball went right through Quarles' hands. You see the way the sun comes on this field. That ball's almost coming right out of the sun into Quarles' hands. Not a perfect spiral, but it's right there. Got to make that catch. That's got to be a catch. Quarles just 1 catch on the year. And again, Lamar Jordan watching from the sidelines for New Mexico. It's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Gibson into Utah State territory, and another Lobo first down. If you're a Lobo, there's nothing wrong with this drive. You're staying on the field. You're driving the ball down the field. You're getting the first downs. And you're getting beautiful blocking up front. The ball handed off to the first option. And he cuts all the way back to the backside of the play. Ends up being over the left tackle is where he runs. Gibson has 78 yards rushing, which is more than the entire Aggies offense has on the ground today. Kind of seems like he's gotten them about 10 yards at a chunk, doesn't it? Coming into the game, his last 4, he was averaging 7 yards a carry. Not much doing this time for Gibson in what will be the final play of the third quarter. Can New Mexico hold on and pick up the biggest win of Bob Davies' tenure here? You're watching Mountain West football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
We are set up for a good finish here in the fourth quarter. New Mexico leads Utah State 14-10. With Randy Cross, Rashawn Lee, I'm Andrew Catalan, our producer Bruce Clark, director John Coleman, our entire CBS Sports Network crew ready for a big finish here in Albuquerque as both these teams control their own destiny to win the Mountain Division.
And the key for New Mexico in this fourth quarter is yards on the ground and clock.
On 2nd and 9. And Kyler Fackrell makes another tackle, bringing down Gibson. All right, good one there. Thank you very much, Brent. Arkansas beat Ole Miss last year 30-0. So different story this time around. On 3rd and 8, Apodaca pump fakes. 2 flags are down. Apodaca looking deep. It's deflected and caught. Gambling off the deflection, but let's wait and see what the flags are.
It sure looked like holding against New Mexico.
There were 2 fouls in the play, both on the offense. Holding number 51 and number 76. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So the center, Mahina, and the right tackle, Romine, both called for holding, and that wipes out an incredible catch by Gamblin.
The 76 right in front of you, and back of him was where the center, 51, Mahina, was holding. Deflected off the hands. That's just pure luck. That's great concentration. But you know what? Those are the kind of plays you got to have when you pull off a game like this, like New Mexico's trying to do.
And Randy, we've seen Fackrell be a lot more active here in the second half. He was the one that was basically tackled on that holding call. So following the penalties, it's 3rd and 18. Apodaca with time, looking deep, and it's intercepted. It's Centers on the return for Utah State. Centers inside New Mexico territory. It's still going. What moves by Centers? Looking like his dad, Larry. His 3rd interception of the season, and Utah State set up with great field position.
Well, Apodaca got kind of a little full of himself. I think he got some false confidence off that deflection on the last play. Look where Centers is sitting in the middle of the field, deep center position from his safety spot. He had that ball and tracked it the entire way. That ball should have never been thrown in that area. And his dad, one of the great versatile running backs in the NFL the last 20, 30 years. A little bit of that skill rubbed off on his son.
9th interception of the season for the Utah State defense. And now the Aggies with the ball at the New Mexico 31-yard line. It's Mays. And not much doing for Devontae Mays today.
You know, Andrew, this is an opportunity for Utah State, a huge opportunity for Matt Wells and company to grab some serious momentum and to sort of snuff out any thoughts of a big upset here by New Mexico. Get the ball. You've gotten the field position again. Stick this ball in the end zone, get the lead, and sort of try to remind New Mexico of their place.
Once again, Mays is thrown back. Cody Baker, the true freshman, leading the charge for New Mexico. D'Avanzo also in on the tackle.
Well, so far for that defense, it's been their place has been in the backfield. See 53, Baker, he cuts off. He's there. He's contained. He does a beautiful job of contain, and then the rest of the defense rallies back to him.
Bob Davie 10-1 in New Mexico when leading after 3 quarters. Utah State 2 for 10 today on 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 15. Myers, and that pass is caught by Roberts, but he is short of a first down by about 3 yards. So now decision time for Matt Wells. Does he put 3 on the board or does he go for it? And he's sending Brock Warren, the kicker, out with 12:15 to go.
Yeah, with this field position, you're going to be kicking from about the 42-yard line or so, 41, 42-yard field goal. Smart. Take the points. Draw within one. Take advantage of that field position and make that field position equal points.
Officially a 42-yard attempt. Warren's kick on the way, and it's good. He's now 2 for 2 today and 8 for 8 on the season, and we've got a 1-point game in Albuquerque. 11:47 to go. So once again for Utah State, it's Brock Warren kicking off, and Rashawn Ali tells us down on the sideline that she does not see Jake Thompson out there. Thompson is their kickoff specialist. He kicked off earlier in the game, but we have not seen him since. So Warren, again, whose leg is not as big as Thompson, kicks off this one with the wind, which certainly helps, and it's Wiggins on the return. And Wiggins lost the ball. Ball is loose.
It's Utah
Free
State
at the
all
25. Aggies have it. A huge mistake by Wiggins. Remember, he fumbled a punt in the first half, but recovered, and here on the kickoff, he loses the football.
Oh, you've got to have the points of that ball, tuck it away high and tight. It isn't high and tight. The helmet hits it down, seems like about waist high. When that ball gets hit by the helmet right there, and it just pops it out. If that thing is being held up in the armpit,
On the field.
it's not even hit.
Was that fumble recovered by the return team?
And Randy, the man who forced that fumble was Andrew Rodriguez, who fumbled a punt earlier, came back, made the catch for the touchdown, and now forces a fumble. Wow, and they are saying that, well, basically, the confusion was that initially on the field, everyone pointed Utah State football, and they're saying at the end of the play,
including the guys in the striped shirts.
Exactly. At the end of the play, they changed it to New Mexico football. So that's a huge break for the Lobos. And Jordan again. And he was brought down by Centers, who's having a big second half. The interception, and now the tackle.
Center's doing a good job, but Marwin Evans, the corner, doing a very nice job of stretching that play out. That's why Centers could come up from that safety position and make that nice support like that.
Randy, would you end the Apodaca experiment the rest of the way? Would you just keep Jordan out there?
There's more of a running pop to this team with Jordan on the field.
It's Gibson on 2nd and 20, and it will be 3rd and long. And we'll see if Apodaca comes out. Nick Vigil makes the tackle for the Aggies.
Tackled by number 41.
Apodaca has his helmet on the sideline, but Jordan is staying out there. And that's different from what we've seen so far today with these 3rd down passing downs. We've seen Apodaca come out, but he's just 2 of 4 for 7 yards. So Jordan stays out.
No, when you're talking about 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, you've got to, if you throw the ball, it's got to be up to the receiver to get the first down, because you're not going to throw it far enough down the field for a first down.
Jordan cuts it upfield across the 30. So they run it on 3rd and long. Filiunga makes the stop, and New Mexico will bring out the punt team.
Well, how big was that penalty, though, on 1st down? With
Huge.
that nice run, you get that penalty. And there is a bright side to this 3rd down call, though, on 3rd and 14. You get about half of that, if not a little bit more than that, but it keeps this clock churning. Everything keeps moving. Very important. No return here, and you get this ball kicked out of bounds.
Rogers punts it away. Rodriguez backtracks to his own 26. Does have 1 punt return touchdown this year. Rodriguez up across the 40 with 8:59 to go in the 4th quarter. With College Football Hall of Famer Randy Cross and Rashawn Ali, I'm Andrew Catalan, and Utah State will have good field position. That's been a theme today. They'll start this drive at their own 44-yard line.
I can't remember more than a couple of possessions they didn't have great field position.
Myers throwing on 1st down, and it's dropped by Cranston Jones. Myers threw it right to the senior corner, And Jones dropped it.
Wow. I'm with you. That ball was just right to him. I mean, you look at Jones standing. The receiver keeps going. The ball comes right at him.
Jones has 5 career interceptions. This is his 33rd start today, the most on the team, but not able to come up with that pick. Myers keeps it himself, tackled by Donnie White from behind, and it will be 3rd down.
Another nice job, though, by this New Mexico defense of getting that penetration, disrupting that junction point.
Aggies have been brutal today on 3rd downs, just 2 for 11.
Look for that penetration. We've seen a lot of it. Last play, that was Garrett Hughes.
Lobos showing pressure. They back off. Myers has time. Over the middle, and it's caught for a 1st down by Braylon Roberts. Good job by Myers to see Roberts break free and pick up 14.
Nice poise by Myers, too. You get that double A-gap look with the blitz, and they're bailing into coverage. Myers never even flinches and just steps up and delivers that ball nicely.
Josh Heupel told us this week he loves the competitive spirit of the sophomore Roberts, and he said you'll see a little bit more of him this week. Had 9 catches on the season coming into today. Hunt, and Cox gets him at the 37-yard line with 7.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
No reason for a sense of urgency here from Utah State. Be efficient, be clean, don't make any mistakes. You don't want any of those holding penalties to back you up. You're again blessed if you're Matt Wells and company with some good field position.
Just 57 yards rushing today for Utah State. Myers trying to add to that total, and he will. It's actually Hobbs, the backup quarterback, who comes in, and he runs for a 1st down. A gain of 18 for Hobbs.
Oh, some nice stuff, mixing it up, and Hobbs pulls it out on that option and just decides to take it inside. And the defense looked shocked once they figured out the quarterback had the ball.
So Utah State in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line, and Hobbs stays out there. Drops the snap, ball is loose.
New Mexico might have it.
And they do, the Lobos recover. Daniel Henry recovers the fumble. And New Mexico with a huge defensive play as Hobbs, well, he just dropped the snap.
He never had a handle on it, and Henry dives in there. Look at the way he used his body to position Hobbs away from the ball. Watch his body come in. He turns his back and his hip, and Hobbs had body position to start with, but Henry took that away, and that's why he ended up with the ball.
2nd turnover today by Utah State with 6:32 to go. And Jordan and Randy, they were moving the ball with Myers. They bring in Hobbs. He's cold off the sideline, and he drops the snap. And
well, he didn't look too cold on that first run.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But I don't know. You have a rhythm going with your starter. You change it by bringing in Hobbs, and he loses the football.
What's incumbent upon New Mexico here? I mean, you talk about a 1st down or 2. A 1st down or 2, more than 2, darn near win you the game. You got to start burning timeouts here in about a minute or 2.
2nd and 9 for the Lobos. Presley up the middle. And all right, good stuff. Great day of college football. Bren, of course, it'll be capped tonight with the game on CBS between LSU and Alabama. 3rd and 8 for New Mexico. They're 2 for 11 on 3rd downs. Jordan throws right incomplete. short of the intended target, Hart Johnson, and a very quick 3-and-out for the New Mexico offense.
And it takes this ball game for New Mexico and it puts it right back into Cosgrove's defense's lap. That defense has carried the whole game. Bob Davie knows his defense one more time has to come up with a big stop against Utah State.
They only took 1:30 off the clock with that possession. Rodriguez back deep. Good kick by Rogers. Rodriguez fields it going backwards at the 23. Rodriguez stays on his feet, then finish to the ground.
He turned back into a T-bone.
Michael Walsh, the special teams tackle. Big finish coming in Albuquerque. So, Utah State will start this drive at their own 22-yard line, trailing by 1. Myers throws, and it's incomplete. Brandon Swindle, the intended target, at 2nd and 10.
It's really been something so far. You know, Coach Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator for New Mexico, they've pretty much taken the sharp option off the table, the deep option off the table for most of this game.
2nd and 15, Myers underneath to Hunt. Room to run. Lawan Hunt off to the races and still going down the sideline and finally stopped inside the 25. A gain of 61, but a flag all the way back at the 24-yard line.
It was again one of those little screens again. We saw one go for 63, and then Hunt takes that one. But the field, that flag was back by the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 76, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Wow, that wipes out the play to Hunt. It's the 2nd straight penalty on Utah State after they had not committed one the entire game, and both of them go on Jake Simonich, the right tackle.
He's right behind the goalpost there. Simonich, 76. Working right there. You see he gets a whole handful of Langford.
Didn't have a penalty for 55 minutes. Now on back-to-back plays, and that one wipes off a huge game.
Timing could have been worse, but I doubt it.
Second down and 18. Myers wide open over the middle and incomplete. Houston had so much room to run, but Myers and Houston could not connect.
There was no one around Houston. That was right behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties. A giant dead zone in the defense. See, there's no defenders around Houston. This ball is just overthrown.
So it's 3rd and 18 with 4:11 to go. Hunt in at running back. Low snap. Myers spins away from one. Doesn't get away from another. Taylor Timmons with the sack.
Well, they only rushed 4. Watch the twists and turns up front and the immediate pressure, and then more pressure. Beautiful job by the 4 defensive linemen. They had no help from a blitz. It was 5 offensive linemen on 4 defensive linemen, and the guys with the least numbers won.
3.5 sacks now for Timmons this year. Dalton punting from his own end zone. Wiggins lets it bounce. It takes a Utah State hop all the way to the 31-yard line. So a good punt by Dalton. Utah State's defense needs to come up big when we come back. All 3 timeouts for the Aggies.
Can you eat the clock and make them burn those timeouts?
Presley. And Presley is tripped up by Vigil. Utah State immediately calls timeout. Matt Wells' team had scored at least 50 in 3 of their last 4 games, but just 13 on the scoreboard so far today. It'll be 2nd down and 12 following the Aggies timeout, 3:11 to go. Jordan will keep it himself. Once again, Vigil coming up to make the tackle. Nick Vigil, a big-time player, coming up in a clutch spot with back-to-back tackles. Utah State calls timeout. It's 3rd down.
I mean, you'd love to say, yeah, throw the ball, but they're just not a throwing team that's a legitimate threat. And even with Apodaca in there.
He is in on 3rd and 12. Apodaca 2 of 4 today for 7 yards and an interception. Let's see what he can do here. On 3rd down and 12. Fires, incomplete, miscommunication with Hart Johnson, and Utah State, because of that pass, does not have to use a timeout.
Yeah, they should. Matt Wells and company on the other sideline should say thank you for saving us the timeout.
Bob DeBest, the offensive coordinator, against the wall in the hat for New Mexico. They only took up 14 seconds on that possession. And now Rogers to punt it away to Rodriguez with 3 minutes to go.
He boomed the last one. Can he do it again?
Rodriguez, fair catch at the 36-yard line. It's trailing by 1, 2:54 to go. And 1 timeout for the Aggies. Myers, incomplete, looking for Houston. Now keep this in mind. We mentioned this earlier, that we did not see Jake Thompson taking the kickoffs for the Aggies. Okay, well, that's not a big deal. They have Brock Warren do it. Well, Thompson's also their long field goal kicker. Warren's long is 41 yards, his career long. They usually use Thompson for longer range field goals. So that could come into play here if Utah State gets into field goal range.
That means you got to get at least to the 25 to get in the range.
2nd and 10. Myers feeling the heat, steps up, tripped up from behind. It was D'Avanzo getting a hand on Myers from behind, and it's 3rd down.
Another big play by D'Avanzo, coming off that defensive tackle rush and peeling back and tripping up the quarterback, because there was a lot of open spaces in front of the Utah State quarterback.
Time is ticking. 3rd and 5. Myers fires, and it's caught by Sharp. 1st down, Utah State into New Mexico territory, a gain of 14.
Now 21 yards away from a field goal type area.
2:10 to go. 1 timeout still for the Aggies to play with. Myers will keep it himself, and he gets out of bounds. Looked like he was about to cut it back inside, and instead thought better and goes out of bounds. There is Brock Warren, who is 8 for 8 on the season, but again, his long is 41 yards, and that came today.
The ball right now is on the 43-yard line. Whatever win there is will be with him at his back.
On 2nd and 7, Sharp with another catch and another Utah State 1st down. Hunter Sharp has been quiet. Last week, just 1 catch. Quiet for much of today, but he's come alive on this drive.
1:39 to go. About 5 to 6 yards away from the outside of the kicker's range.
Myers taking a deep shot for Harp in the end zone, and Sharp is not able to get there. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
There's nothing wrong with this approach as far as throwing the ball. They're doing a very nice job of it, and it's stopping the clock.
On this drive, Myers responsible for of the 35 yards so far. It's 2nd and 10, 1:32 to go. They go on the ground, and it's Hunt getting to the 26-yard line. Now, if you're New Mexico, do you start to think about timeouts?
Get a little closer, I think you do, once you get towards the 20, because you know, and they've got 3 left in their pocket that Bob Davie does.
8th play of the drive. It's 3rd down and 6.
Last thing you want here is a sack. Throw it away if they get close to you.
Myers will keep it himself. They play it safe, and they set up for the field goal with Brock Warren. Bob Davie will call his 2nd timeout. So New Mexico
Also 30 seconds
will have 1 remaining, and now it's on Brock Warren. 8 for 8 this season, including 2 for 2 today on field goals.
Incumbent upon Warren to drive this thing pretty well, which means it may be a little lower.
A 41-yard attempt for Warren to match his career long, which he said earlier today, and give Utah State the lead. Warren's kick is on the way, and it's no good! His first miss of the season.
Put it out there right the whole way. Never came back.
And Bob Davie is about to have the biggest win of his tenure at New Mexico. He's been looking for a signature win. He's about to get one here against Utah State.
Snap is right there. The place is right there. The ball is kicked and just driven right straight about 10, 15 feet right of the upright. Never had a chance.
Aggies have 1 timeout, but it won't matter. Bob Davie's defense held Utah State to just 78 yards rushing. That is a season low for the Aggies. -- Defensive coordinator Kevin Cosgrove. Boy, did he earn a gold star today. A little emotional on that Lobos sideline after his defense played an incredible game. And they are going to be partying in Albuquerque tonight. Bob Davie with his biggest win as a Lobo. Fifth win of the year for New Mexico, the most they've had in 8 years, and an absolutely crushing defeat for Utah State. Warren missed the potential game-winning kick. And it'll be a tough flight home to Logan as we update the Mountain West standings. And, well, there are now 2 teams who control their own destiny in the Mountain Division, Air Force and New Mexico.
Wow.
Now 3-2 in the division as we go down to Rashawn Ali.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Coach Davie, big win for you here tonight. What does this mean for your program?
I got to let it settle a little bit. It's big. And, you know, Utah State has been the model. You know, 2 years ago, they come in here and slapped us around like a bunch of gnats, and we just completely dominated us. Last year, we went up there and played a little bit better. It means a lot. It's our 5th win. You know, we have 3 games left. Just so proud of our defense, how hard they played, how resilient they were, and it's a big win for us.
It is. Talk us through that last field goal.
I don't know. You know, the wind was blowing. They put the ball in the middle of the field. football God smiled on us. They smiled on us against Hawaii here a couple weeks ago. They missed a short one. They smiled on us again tonight. Maybe it's because there's been a lot of hard work put into this thing by a lot of good people, but we'll take it.
Well, you're one of those good people. Would you say this is the biggest win of your tenure here at New Mexico?
We beat New Mexico State 4 straight times, which is the biggest rivalry we have, but no doubt if somebody was looking for a signature win for us, this would have to be it.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Signature win indeed for Bob Davie and the Lobos. They go to 5-4 on the season, 3-2 in the Mountain West, and Utah State now 4-2 in conference play. We thank you for joining us on CBS Sports Network. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. New Mexico wins a thriller, 14-13. That'll do it from Albuquerque, but don't go anywhere. We're sending it to Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier. They're in our New York studio with Inside College Football.